people may not know the difference between white grapefruit and ruby grapefruit or red grapefruit, but obviously the color and texture of the skin. But white grapefruit is really, really hard to find. Many, many years ago, like when I was a kid, that's how long ago, you only had white grapefruit. And in drink recipes, it always called for white grapefruit. What's the difference? This one just seems to be a little bit larger, but the taste is very significant. So let's cut one open and let's take a look. Put down a towel or a board here so we don't get juice all over the bar. And we'll cut open this other one. And what you will find is, big surprise, one is white and one is ruby red or pink grapefruit or whatever you want to call it, but the color is obviously significant, but the taste is even more significant. And the only way for you to know this is to taste them. You know, if you can get one of each, taste one, taste the other, you're going to find one to be more tart, more sweet. So what I find is the red ones, they tend to be much sweeter, but they're still sour at the end. And the white ones are a little bit more mild, but again, the aftertaste is sour. Is this going to make a difference in a recipe? I don't know. You're going to have to check it out. I'm not too particular, especially since you really only see these red ones. But for me, the big deal is do not buy them pasteurized. You're getting a completely different product. It's not going to taste as nearly as good. So whatever you do, you always want to use fresh juices. Not really sure when or why Americans started to get a preference for the ruby red or the pink grapefruits. Probably something having to do with the palate. They weren't as sour. So then they just started growing more pink ones. Maybe it was a geographical thing. Maybe there was some sort of insects that infected the crops. I'm not really sure how that works, but you know what? Again, I can't taste the difference. Of course, you want to use white grapefruit because that's what the original recipes called for. These were about $1.50 each, and these white ones were about $3 each. I don't think it's just because of the size. It could be the supermarket I went to, but out of this one fruit, you will get about 10 to 12 ounces of juice. And that's a lot of juice because most recipes only call for half an ounce. So obviously you're going to get about a couple of dozen drinks out of that. Again, it depends on the recipe. But what I like to do is I like to get one of these juicers and I juice them and I strain them because I like to get the pulp out. I like it clarified. And once I do that, I use my jigger and I measure out half ounces, put them in an ice cube tray. And the reason is when I go by half ounces, again, most recipes call for a half ounce. And if they do call for an ounce, then I just use two of them. It's better than cutting one ice cube or grapefruit juice cube in half or whatever. Stick this in the freezer, and then you get one of these reusable containers and you just stick them in there and you stick them in the freezer so the fruit doesn't go bad, and whenever you want to drink, it's right there for when these grapefruits go in and out of season. If you buy in bulk, it's a great idea. Again, get your juicer, rinse it out if you're doing multiple juices. Store them in ice cube trays. I don't know if they're any less fresh once you freeze them. I imagine they would be, but I don't think it's going to make or break your cocktail. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon. Mahalo.